Tim. Thanks for coming out today. Should be a good game. Beautiful day here in Salt Lake City as your #1 Utes who traveled down from Boise, Idaho. About times, yeah. Nice place.
Beautiful place.
All right. Should be a fun game though. The Utes coming into this game 5-0, having completed perfect road trips against in California and Texas over the past 2 weeks. And 1-1 in the MCLA. So already played 2 conference games. They've beat UNLV and Oregon. Matchup here. If history has a way of repeating itself, the Broncos beat these returners.
Revenge. It was a letdown game.
Soft win. Gets the ball to Josh Stout, who holds it up and gets it back to JoJo Olivius. His real name's Joseph. Everyone just calls him JoJo. Stout with the ball. Gets the shot off. Looks like nicely defended, though, as it goes wide. And the Utes will retain. I want to thank you for joining us. We know there's lots of streams today. Lots of NCAA action, lots of MCLA action, lots of lacrosse action. So we thank you. If you have questions or comments for the broadcast, please tweet those to @UtahLacrosse, and we will try to read a few on air as the Utes possess the ball here. Ball's with 18, Quinault Mackey, who will from now on be known as Q. Ball up to Aaron Felstead, who gets it over to Cam Redmond. Utah in their black helmets, white jerseys, and red shorts, obviously. White jerseys making their debut for this season. And there's a shot by JoJo, getting around from X.
Really good patience on offense there, Tim. A few different dodges, and they found what they liked, and JoJo exposed that slower defenseman. Great wraparound goal there.
And the Utes take a 1-0 lead on the goal by JoJo. He comes into this game with 9 goals, so that's his 10th on the season. 0 assists, though, Duke. Maybe need to focus on that for the upcoming games, but. In goal for the Utes today is Daniel Costa, transfer from St. John's. He's been the starter for Utah all year. Utah will run several polls out there right now, though. We have Seth Neeleman, Devin Keefe, and Rylan Lemons as Gus Colonna starts with the ball. Gets it over to Jake Stout. Stouts are obviously brothers, Jake being the older one. Stout's a long-time recognizable name in the Utah lacrosse community. Gets the ball up to Liam Kavanaugh Fernandez as the Utes look to work it around. Shot by Colonna goes in. Great shot by Gus there from outside. Long distance shot. He'll be happy with that one. A right-handed goal. I don't know if
really good patience on offense there. Kind of picking this defense apart here to start early.
Little tidbit for you. So well on their way to not letting that happen. Utes lead 2-0, 13:20 left in the first quarter. Again, another beautiful day here in Salt Lake City.
Number 15, that's going to be Rob Lowe, Oxford Blues.
That's a face-off win for the Broncos. That's Rob Lowe, not the actor. I checked beforehand. Taken away by Belcher. Spins and finds Lemons. Lemons unable to handle it. Ball's down in the middle. Lemons does come away with it. It gets it back to Costa. And they're going to run their clear. Utes very good at clearing the ball this year. As Lemons has it. He's going to roll back. Hooks it upfield. Q's on it. Unable to come away with it. That's 24, Ryan Kears.
Good ride by the Broncos there, Tim.
Great ride. And he pulls it back. And so we'll get a look at this Boise State offense. Number 3 with the ball, Colton Rosen.
Kind of interested to see what they do on offense. They have some interesting scores in their first 3 games, so kind of unknown here. This will be a good look here.
Errant pass. Goes over the midline. It's going to be an over and back. Good defense there by Utah. as Q takes the ball and gets it up to 44. That's a shot by Dalton Ziegler. And Boise State with the ball in transition. Slow, nice move. Oh, shot goes outside.
Shot by the Broncos goes to the side of the net. Well, the interference called on the Broncos. Utes will take over at midfield.
Sorry, going over a little technical detail here. As the Utes retain possession, it's Reed Lanigan with the ball. Shot by Lanigan, great save by 18, Carson Bungay for the Broncos. Utah already playing some of their guys. There's 3 injuries in the midfield, so that's allowing more guys to get time. And we're going to have a timeout by Boise State. Again, tweet us your questions, comments, concerns at Utah Lacrosse. And we're going to take a short break and come right back.
Available up on the upper level. If you
Tribal West is the first name in lacrosse out west. For more than 15 years, Tribal West has been gearing up beginners to ballers. Our online store is super easy, and we save you time and money. And team stores, let us do your work. Our deals for both men's and women's MCLA teams are flat out lax-tastic and delivered on time. Tribal West, proud to be family owned and player operated. Tribal West, look good, play better.
first quarter.
And we're back after the break. 11:07 left in this first quarter. Great trail check by Belcher. Ball's on the carpet. Hockeyed up by Seth. Belcher and Jake Stout on the quick restart.
Turn the ball over. Utes take over.
Oh, good shot by Kavanaugh, saved.
3 straight saves for that goal. He's warming up here, Tim.
Yep, playing really well early in this first quarter. And there's nothing like a hot goalie to give your team momentum.
Yep.
So something to watch for there.
The good thing is that Utes defense has played strong so far, but I think they need a little bit more patient on offense and find the right shot there.
And that's a goal by number 5.
He bounces it into an empty net on a press defense.
Empty goal there for Utah on the 10-man ride.
Facing off for the Utes, number 6, Michael Abizad. Facing off, number 15 for the Broncos, Oxford Blues, Rob Lowe. Errant pass by the Utes, slides out the back. Broncos take over.
Sloppy on offense there. They're really rushing it now. Boise State's made a few adjustments, make the Utes settle back in. Those first 2 possessions were what we're looking for.
Seth, good points, Duke. Seth Neeleman coming up with the ball. Seeing crowd here today on a Saturday. Lots of local action going on, so we're thankful for those who came out. Cam Redmond's going to clear the ball there. Get a touch.
Clear. University of Utah, Cam Redmond gets the touch.
Who gets it up to Stout? Josh Stout. Ball's behind with JoJo. Utes lead here 2-1. 9 minutes left in the first quarter. Great end to action so far. There's a clump of photographers in that corner. They're all over there together. Up to Felstead. Shot by Felstead. Not the greatest shot. Reed Lanigan with the ball, gets it behind the Stout. Gets it over to JoJo. Good stick check there by Boise. Number 19, Alex Wilson with the good stick check on Felstead. A little bit of confusion. Shot goes just high. Oh, nice move by Lanigan. Gets stuck in the head, then hit late there, but Josh Stout kept playing even though there was a little bit of chaos and able to get that goal.
Yeah, much better offensive possession. Goalie again making some good saves, but way to stick on it there, right in the 5-hole.
Always a good spot to shoot the ball. 4th goal of the year. So Josh Stout playing well this season, off to a hot start. This is the 6th game for the Utes. Started off the season by going 9-3 over Cal Poly, 16-5 over Duke's alma mater, Arizona, and then an 18-6 win over Cal. And
looks like we have a no-goal situation.
They waved off the goal. What do you think there, Duke? Probably pushed into the crease and then that stopped the play?
Yep.
Okay. Utes will have it. That's Jake Stout with the ball. He's looking to go big little. Gets around the corner, hands free, shot wide.
Number 37 slides by the cage.
That's more of his brother's move, to be honest with you. But good shot nonetheless.
Taking the play out of little brother's butt.
Yeah. Same thing from the other Stout on the other side. Shot goes wide.
Anything you can do
with the Stout brothers.
There it is.
And there's the matchup they're looking for. 1 versus 1. Case Josh. Skip pass to Liam. Oh, good ball movement by the Utes. Stout, Jake Stout, just high. Good save, though, by 18, Carson Bungay. That's probably, what, his 4th or 5th save, Duke?
I think it's his 6th save of the quarter from what I count.
6th save, sophomore.
It's just got to come away with the goal there. Big stop for Boise, though.
Big stop leads to a transition takeaway, though, for the Utes. As Q looks up to Stout, who again goes 5-hole. So I think Josh Stout has found Ben Gay's weakness as Stout gets his goal back. Nice shot.
They got the back of the goal, and we're back to 3-1.
Ben Gay seems to be really good up high, but a little bit slower down low. Maybe if they can learn from Stout, and I think they can start burying some of these shots.
No doubt. Fun game so far. A little bit up and down. Utes coming out on a 3-1 lead. 5:52 left in this first quarter. Actually, the clock, our game clock's a little off. Game clock is 6:19. As Michael Abzad is out there against, is that Rob Lowe again? No, going with the pole this time. Number 12, Dawson Cutright for the Broncos. Michael comes away with it, able to get it up to Q, who gets it over to Stout, gets a touch. Utes are looking to get their personnel on the field. Joe looking to work the inside. Good defense by Boise State, number 24, Ryan Kears.
He's a good player.
And the Broncos able to get the takeaway. Up top on the clear. Utes in their 10-man ride. Ball gets hooked. And the ball is still on the turf. Ben Adams not happy that he gave that one up. And they're going to call a push on Boise State. And the ball's going to go to Utes.
5:08 remaining.
Looking to clear. Nice little spin there. Gets the ball. Not afraid to take it. And he does, and he scores. Nice little knuckleball. Goal by Belcher.
Here's Belcher.
Flag gets waved. Good take by Belcher. He, like you say, he had high bounce.
Joking with assistant coach Tim McDermott yesterday. Well, we were picking play where they had Belcher.
High school Belcher scored a bunch of goals on man up.
Yeah, 106-mile-an-hour shot.
Wow.
So lefty too.
Yeah, that's tough to stop.
So we'll see if that gets implemented in the playbook. My chances are probably low, but you never know. Good flip there by Michael. Gets it up to Gus.
Great TV by number 8, Gus Kalana.
Who gets 4:42 left in the first quarter.
Nice dodge. Move it.
Utes being patient on offense. Josh Stout with the ball. Gets it behind the Q. Q from Seattle, Washington. Bonnie Lake. Went to Sumner High School. Nice feed inside to Stout, and Stout with his second of the day.
Scoring them low. Good offensive possession there. Nice and patient. Textbook lacrosse right here.
Q with 2 assists on the day.
Number 6.
Great little player. Utes take a 5-1 lead. 4:03 left. Another win for Michael. A little bit of pressure. Ball's on the turf. Body's flying. And we're going to get a loose ball push on Boise State. Utes will retain. Nice physical play there by the Utes. Cam Redmond starts with it. Good aggressive play by Cam Redmond. Goes through 3 defenders and gets the goal.
Physical dot.
Not the biggest player on the team, but definitely one of the bravest. Getting a great goal there. First of the day. Colin Lee coming in for the Utes at the face-off X. Lee comes away with the win. Tries to find Stout, but throws it right to Boise State.
Colin Lee.
Oh, great ride by Stout. We've got whistles.
What? Wow, the FAR official made the call.
Are they going to call an interference there? Because Stout kind of flicked his stick.
Call, but
on the ride. That is Luke Graney. Working hard as the Utes are in their 10 turnover. Finds Stout, who shoots low. This time Bengay figured out that he was going to shoot low. And a great save by Bengay. Outlets. It's number 5 with the ball, Ty Horrocks. Boise State's going to slow it down. Leads 6-1. They're on defense. That's Jake Nutter, number 25. One of the better D middies on the team. Kind of like Cam Redmond, short in stature, but plays bigger than he is.
Plays hard too, always.
It's Dean Anderson out on number 5, Ty Horrocks. Shot by Horrocks, saved by Costa. Ball's on the turf. Dean Anderson comes up with it. Gets it back to Costa. Utes will look to clear here. Ball goes back to Anderson. Looks upfield to Oscar Kranz. Oscar's going to take it forward. Finds Nutter. Graney to Stout. Good slide there by Boise State. Stout gets it up to Graney as the Utes get their personnel on. It's Jake Stout with the ball. Kranz is going to go back to the defensive end. That allows Gus Colonna to come on the field. Gus turns and goes back to Stout. Kavanaugh with the ball. Going to play a little big little down there. Doesn't work. Kavanaugh finds Stout cutting. Ball's on the turf. Stout unable to come up with it. Boise State with the ball. Ball's down. Successful. Luke Graney comes up with it, who slows it down, gets it to Belcher. He gets it to brother Josh Stout. Felstead comes across the midline uncovered. And the Utes in their offense. 17 seconds left in this quarter. Q with the ball, it's coming around. Rip.
They call him left foot first. He rockets it in.
Great.
Seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Great rip. Good offense there.
Rob Lowe.
Stout finding space with the step down, burying it. And that's Q's third assist of the game.
Mr. Michael Abizad.
At 7 seconds left. He's likely going to try to flip it to Cam. Cam will try to look upfield and Mike. And that's going to do it.
He won that face-off clean. He almost had
Now
that.
pop it out and get it there. So Utes, we're going to take a quick break. Join us for the second quarter.
I'm Ryan Powell.
I'm Brett Hughes.
I'm Zach Greer.
I'm Brian Silka. We're the Stripes.
I'm Megan Price.
I'm Anthony Kelly.
Griffin Halliday. Logan Halliday. And we grow the game.
And I grow the game.
I grow the game.
We grow the game. And I grow.
Tribal West is the first name in lacrosse out west. For more than 15 years, Tribal West has been gearing up beginners to ballers. And we save you time and money. And team stores, let us do your work. LA teams are flat out lax-tastic and delivered on time. Tribal West, proud to be family owned and player operated. Tribal West, look good, play better.
Utah versus Boise State lacrosse game. Utes taking a 7-1 lead. Duke, what did you see out of that first quarter?
Well, the most glaring thing that I saw was time of possession was significantly in Utah's favor. Utah got a lot of looks offensively. That goalie saved a bunch of shots. And to be honest with you, Tim, Boise State's lucky that it's only 7-1 right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of been a theme for Utah this year. Like I mentioned earlier, the Utes have never trailed so far, and that trend is obviously continuing. 7-1, I believe, is one of the best first quarters they've had of the year. I think we've had a couple 6-1s and 5-1s, but I think 7-1 is their best so far. Little first quarter stats for you. Stout with Quentin Mackey with 3 assists to lead the team there. Scrolling down to some face-offs here. Utes are 7 of 9 from the face-off. Doing work, doing well. Colin Lee took one in that first half, but Boise State comes up with the first one of the second quarter. It was for the Broncos in that huddle.
I don't know what you can say. Keep fighting and playing hard. I mean, that's all you really can say. They're, like I say, they have to get more offensive possession time. There's no time with the ball, and they, 30 seconds into their possession, they give it up. So
great defense by Seth Neeleman. He's going to get the clear.
32 showing his legs. He's off like
This is actually the second game at Judge Memorial for the Boise State Broncos. They met UNLV here. As we see a great doorstep. Their first game of the season was against UNLV, and it was played here.
Oh, wow.
UNLV played BYU the night before.
Oh, yeah.
And then they played here on a Sunday afternoon. So Boise State not unfamiliar with this field or coming to Utah. They were down in Utah for a couple games last year. Just about a 5-hour drive. As we see Boise State, nice play. Great goal by number 22 for Boise State. That's Jake Braden, the junior attackman.
Transition D a little sloppy there. Belcher is a little bit lazy on that, and good finish out of Boise State. It's a good goal to have.
You know, and that all started on the other end with a big doorstep one-on-one save. So good team play there by the Broncos. As it makes the score 7-2 for Utah. Abazid out there again for the Utes. Kelowna on the near wing. Nick Farnsworth on the far wing. Abazid with the clamp. Ball's down. Ball still on turf. Nice little ground ball battle there. Shoulders collide in his stick. 26, Joe Peterson for Boise State, not making it. The Utes will settle. Nice little.
Yep, that's a save. That's one that the defense is willing to give up, but
makes the score 7-3 for Utah. 11:39 left in this first half. We are live from Judge Memorial High School in Salt Lake City, Utah. Judge is just down the street from the University of Utah. When we get a break, we'll get one of the cameramen to pan out to the view that we have here. It's probably one of the better lacrosse views in Utah. One that certainly doesn't include the mountains, which is sort of unique. Duke, you went here. You went to Judge. Tell us about playing on this field.
It's my favorite, the setting in general, but it's the most beautiful venue I think I've been to. We actually didn't get to play on the senior year because the field sunk. It's built on a swamp, but junior year was a great experience.
I remember playing here back in my day.
It looked a little bit different.
It was grass, and it had all the trees on that opposite side.
Yeah.
Which made it fun too. It was really kind of socked in, which was cool. So great place to play lacrosse. Judge has been a long-time program, one of the first in the state. Lots of good lacrosse here. Lots of state championships early on. Our producer will probably remind us of how many, but he says 4. I don't think that's true. We do have a flag down though. Utah with the ball. Aaron Felstead up top, getting ready to dodge. Finds Stout on the wing. Sorry, that's Bo Powell on the wing. Bo getting his first reps of the game. Escapes the double team.
Wow, they're really physical on defense right now.
Reed Lanigan with the ball. Circle back to Powell. Maybe that was the message, Duke. Be more aggressive coming out of that huddle. Felstead finds space, lets it loose. Ball's high. We'll see what this penalty is about as the Utah man-up unit gets an opportunity. Can see in that shot sort of the Salt Lake City skyline there. The Utes don't have official stats, but the Utah man-up unit has been pretty successful this year.
Utah's going to be on the power play for 30 seconds.
Luke Graney is going to start with the ball on that far side on that 10-yard line. You've got Gus Kelowna, Aaron Felstead, Josh Stout. In the middle, you've got Cam Redmond and Jake Stout. So definitely the more experienced players in the group are on that man-up team, obviously. Utes in sort of a 1-4-1 look. Didn't catch what the penalty was, Duke. Did you see it?
Slash.
1 minute slash. Shot by Josh Stout goes wide. Backed up by the Utes. Nice little play there. Felstead shoots the ball. It was blocked. And then he got his own rebound and scores. What a great goal.
Yeah, great goal. His eyes were locked on the ball the whole time. Fell right to him.
What a play.
And again, that 5-hole seems to be open for business today, Tim.
Certainly does. Utes have exposed it a couple times. Utes lead 8-3. 9:33 left in this second quarter of the first half.
Number 15, Rob Lowe, going to be facing off.
Rob Lowe taking on Michael Abazid. I'd say Abazid has the upper hand today.
I think he's won every face-off clean. They're just struggling with the ground ball on the wing, just like there.
And that's not Abazid. That was Colin Lee out there. So Colin Lee getting a few reps here. Ball still on the turf. Boise State comes up with it. That's Rob Lowe. Flings it out to 25. Max Huatala comes away with it, gets a touch. Belcher was guarding him, but passed him over.
Shot by number 25.
Shot by Boise State goes wide, and they're on the back up. Score is 9-3 Utah. Ball's up top with Ty Horrocks. Guarded by Jake Nutter. Nice little move there. Slide by Steele. Duke, you coached Steele last year at Olympus. You excited to see him out there on the field these days?
Yeah, very, very excited. He's a stud athlete, great kid, and super proud of him.
Has the largest thighs on the team.
And he's very proud of them.
Longest hair on the team as well.
He's very proud of that as well.
There you go.
I still keep in contact pretty closely with Steele, and he's having the time of his life up here and absolutely loves the coaching staff. And he wasn't going to play in college, and then I convinced him that he should give it a look. And
sure. That's awesome, yeah. And he's come a long way, playing really well the last few games for Utah. It's Boise State with a decent possession here. 25 versus 25. Gotta love seeing that. Gets the help from Belcher. Outside shot, saved by Costa. Ben Adams coming away with the ground ball. Looks up. Was looking for, I think, Nutter. Bo Powell on the ball. Unable to come up with it. Boise State with it. Number 6, Carter Peel.
Broken up by the Broncos.
Broncos gaining a little bit of momentum here, Duke. As Spencer Wilson carries it into the box. James Murphy with the ball. Shot right to Costa's stick. He's going to save those all day.
James Murphy, eaten up by the keeper, number 3, Daniel Costa.
As the Utes look to clear. Ball's in the middle of Nutter. Nutter's got space. He dishes over to Kelowna. Nutter's going to run off to the midline. His shift is done.
Those kind of shots from Boise State are the ones that are going to help Costa get warmed up, and I don't think he's going to miss many more.
Definitely not, yeah. I think that Boise State should take a cue out of Utah's book and shoot low.
Yeah.
Costa very good up high.
Yeah.
Just been a great goalie, though, for Utah all year. Comes into this game with 26 saves, saving about 72% of the shots. Has also been giving up time to Zach Johns and Max Holmes in some of these other blowout games.
Nice.
Great goal there by Utah.
Behind the back.
Number 4,
Bo Powell.
That was a beautiful finish there.
Getting on the score sheet.
The only way he could have finished that goal, and he did it.
He got the feed from Joseph Oliver.
Quick play by JoJo. Gets it to Bo. Behind the backs aren't necessarily promoted in the Utah program, but I think that the coaches will be happy with that one.
If it's the only shot you can get off,
That's right.
You can't get mad at him for that.
That's right.
I think when it's like an open field, when you're in an open field,
Sure.
you just do it to show off. But
Sure.
that was a good shot.
Utah takes a 7-goal lead, 10-3 here, midway through the second quarter. Abazid comes up with it again. goes back to Costa.
Utes take the face-off once again.
Costa looks upfield and finds Cam Redmond. Abizid, a transfer from Furman, played with the Paladins in the fall, then transferred to Utah. Been a great addition. Played at Landon in high school. Backed up the, don't remember his name, but he backed up the kid who is a freshman at Maryland.
Oh, wow.
So been around the game for a while. Played on a lot of the popular clubs back east. So a good pickup for Utah as Kelowna dodges and dives it. Wow, what a shot by Kelowna. Able to get that top pipe.
I don't think the goalie even saw that one. If we get the replay here, it was a high heater and the goalie was pinned.
Oh, it bounced off his shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay. Great goal there by Gus.
Great shot placement there.
Gus, a transfer from Wagner, obviously played with the Utes last year, but if you listen to the Utah Lacrosse podcast, which you can find at uteslacrosse.com or on iTunes, we did an interview with Gus a couple weeks ago. He had given up on lacrosse, and when the coaching staff came back, he knew Will Manny from Wagner, and so when he heard Will was coming out here, he texted him and said, "Hey, I want to play again." So, great story, great kid, always has a smile on his face.
Great leader.
Yeah, absolutely. He's one of the captains. Was a captain last year again. We're going to get a hold by Boise State. Belcher quickly picks it up. They're going to make him reset it.
Slightly premature start.
And Felstad's going to start with it. Utes lead here 11-3. Late in the second quarter. Stout's going to rip one from way outside. I think that on the film he's not going to like that one. It was a little too far out. Good backup, though, by Utah. JoJo starts with it. Little big little. Ball's up top with Kavanaugh. Gets it over to Lanigan. Lanigan from Memphis, Tennessee. There's Felstad, Alpine Utah product. Went to Lone Peak High School. Good defense by Boise State. Knocks it down, but Kavanaugh comes up with it. Powell to Lanigan, nice little fake. Ooh, blocked by number 6, Carter Peel. Ball still on the turf. Stout's going to come away with it. So the Utes will get back into their set. Felstad. Oh, great shot by Felstad. I think that went off the goalie's shoulder too.
Another one I don't think he suspected was coming that way. I mean, you got to give credit to this Utah ride. Every single time that Boise gets the ball, like a good play on defense, Utah's all over it. They're scrappy. They get the ground ball, and they attack right away. I mean, this is an impressive team, Tim.
That's a direct result of being coached by Marcus Holman and Will Manny.
Yep.
Two of the better attackmen in the MLL.
Yep.
Two of the better American attackmen in the game, and that's something definitely that they emphasize. They would rather have a better riding attackman than a goal scoring attackman, because they can work on the goal scoring attackman, right? They can work on that part, but finding someone who knows how to ride well is a gem to them. So Utes take a let's see. 12-3 lead here as Abizide comes up with it, gets the ball to Belcher, who gets it over to Nutter. Gets it over to Q.
They had numbers, but good pull out right there. Didn't see anything that he liked.
Q is one of the smarter players on the team when it comes to field awareness.
Yeah. Boise State defense pressing way out here.
That they are.
It's a lot of room to run.
Good shot by Jake Stout with the lefty rip down the alley. And he's done that before, one of his signature shots, as he scores his second of the day.
And if that's what you're taught to do when you're in third grade playing lacrosse, if the defense is playing you that far out, just run, and Boise State may want to rethink that strategy.
Absolutely. Maybe slide a little quicker. Or, Jake isn't the fastest kid on the field, so definitely interesting to see him get past guys.
Yeah.
As we get a little delivery here in the booth. Thanks, Bo. And it looks like we've got Colin Lee out there again for the Utes. I believe. It's kind of hard to tell. Yep, Colin Lee flips it back to Cam Redmond. Colin Lee from New Jersey. I think it's called Watchtung. I probably just butchered that, but great player out of New Jersey.
Maybe his parents are watching and they can correct you. Tweet at us.
Tweet at us at Utah Lacrosse. If you have comments about this game, questions about the team, about the roster. Last year we had a lot of Division I questions. Also, if you're viewing from an exotic location, always love to hear about that. Had fans last year in New Zealand, France, Switzerland, all the fun spots. Mexico. We had a couple from Alaska.
Yeah.
Hope they're doing well and still around. But go ahead and tweet at us. We'll get your tweet on air at Utah Lacrosse. As Utah, Ian Elson with the ball. Elson, a key player last year with just kind of the turn. Oh my gosh. Huge top left rip by Cam Redmond. Both players from last year. I was saying Elson, a big contributor last year. Just with the turnover, though, has played less of a role, but still a great player for the Utes as we see a replay.
22 seconds remaining in the first half.
Wow. That was packing heat.
So
placement.
Bengay, good high early in the game.
Yeah.
Has struggled a little lately.
Yeah.
It's kind of a swap there. Utes doing a good job of adjusting their shots as we see a good look there.
Yeah, and the adjustment that Boise State made defensively to press out is giving these time and room shots, and that's, for even a decent shooter, that's tough for a goalie to stop when you're 12, 10, 15 yards out. So it would be interesting to see how they adjust to that.
So Colin Lee out there again for the Utes. He's got the clamp. Gets the scoop to himself. He's going to scoop it to Q. Gets it up to Dalton. Dalton Ziegler out of Colorado. Known on the team as DZ. So there's his initials. Seeing Nate Berger out there getting some time at LSM. Balls with Jake Stout. Gets it behind a Graney. One thing you'll notice, Duke, is the personnel is fluid with this Utah team. Meaning you'll rarely see the same three attackmen out there at all times. The team likes to really rotate. Obviously, in a game like this, we can afford to do that, but definitely lots of different personnel getting time for the Utes, as has happened in the last few games as well. So
it's good. I mean, it helps everyone grow.
Helps everyone grow, helps the morale,
yeah.
When, it's kind of frustrating when you see the same maybe 14, 15 guys out there playing when you've got a team of 40. So great move by Graney. Goes high to high. Good save by Bengay. Graney unable to maintain his balance, gets his paws in the crease. And Boise State will look to clear.
Great save by number 18.
Just a fun game so far, Duke. We got a great matchup between the number 1 Utes and Boise State Broncos. Teams have played each other several times in the past few years in the MCLA. Utah leads the series. I think it's 8-2 if I remember right. Boise State winning the last 2 games. So
a lot of good lacrosse coming out of Boise. It's an area, I mean, it's not necessarily a hotbed, but there's some good players coming out of that. Wow.
Graney looking in the middle of the field, finds Q wide open for his first goal of the game.
Looks crazy, tastes like chicken. Everybody likes chicken. That ball finds the back of the net. 1:30 remaining in the first half.
Get a good look at Q there.
15-3 game.
There was crease slide, and no one was home.
Great little quick stick there by Q. Q with 4 points in this game. One of his better as a Ute. Colin Lee out there for the Utes. Number 12 for Boise State is going to be Dawson Cutright. The LSM facing off. Duke, do you like the LSM facing off?
Well, I mean, normally what you do that for is just to try to fight for a ground ball, but these face-off mids for Utah have won every single one clean, so there's nothing LSM can do. And as I say that, the strategy worked.
Ball still on the turf. Felstad comes up with it. Felstad gets the ball up to JoJo, who finds Cam Redmond. Oh, fortunate play there for the Utes. JoJo looks in the middle for Felstead, unable to come up with it. Ball goes right to Cole Watson. His first touch of the game ends up in a goal.
And I think Boise went to a zone there, Tim.
Okay.
So great read. Crease was again open, and they got it out. And like you said, first touch, first goal.
And if you know Cole, that's right up his alley. That's just he's that kid on the team where his first touch would be a goal. So good goal by Watson, able to place it. Watson out of Flower Mound, Texas. When we were in Texas last week, had the whole Watson family with us the whole time. So it's good to spend time with them and get to know them. Great family. Yeah, we landed in Austin and he let out a big yeehaw. So that got the plane excited. And it's Colin Lee out there again for the Utes. And Boise State coming away with it. That's number 3, Colin Rosen, junior midfielder for the Broncos, experienced player. Can see that showing there. I wanted to talk about the Boise State head coach. His name's Adam Smith. In his first year, played for the Broncos for 4 years, from 2013 to 2016. Had 160 goals, Duke, in his MCLA career. So definitely knows, has some prowess as we see a shot by Boise State.
They call it James Murphy. It's live by the cage.
Boise State on the back up. Got about 28 seconds here, 26 seconds. They're going to give the ball to Utah on the backup.
28 seconds remaining in the first half. Utes have a 16-3 lead on the Broncos.
Score is 16-3. A little bit of chaos. It is actually Boise State's ball. Not sure what's happening, but I do know Boise State has the ball and the whistle blew. So about 23 seconds left. Good defense by Nutter. Excuse me, Cam Redmond. Similar players, Duke, to be honest with you.
He tries the backhander. It slides wide of the net, backed up by the Broncos. They're going to take continued control.
It's Cameron Chun with the ball.
Good D.
Short time. Nice cut. Yeah, Jake Nutter with the good defense there. Rosen with the ball. Shot goes wide, but not before the quarter ended. So that's going to do it for the first half. Your Utah Utes 16, Boise State 3. Don't forget to tweet us your questions at Utah Lacrosse. We'll take a break, be back about 20 seconds before the beginning of the second half in about 10 minutes.
If we could have the ladies lacrosse team from the University of
Picture this, your next trip, Utah, 5 national parks. First, Zion. You're walking, the ground rises, the ground drops, the ground becomes water. Next, Bryce. You're riding a mule. You're riding a mule under giant orange drip castles. You are not dreaming. You will not forget this. On to Capitol Reef. Take the scenic route, the really scenic route. Take a path you've never taken and see the stars for the first time. Now for Canyonlands. You're riding a bike. You're riding a bike on Mars. Now you're riding the rapids. Class 2, Class 3, Class 4, Classic. Arches, 5:32 a.m. Some things are worth racing the sunrise for. The horizon lightens. You round the corner. Whoa. This is Life Elevated. The Mighty 5. 5 iconic parks, 1 epic experience. Plan your trip at visitutah.com.
For over 30 years, Cascade has been the most trusted helmet in lacrosse. Introducing the Cascade S. The pinnacle of protection, comfort, and vision. Cascade, passion to protect.
I am your fortress on the front line of sport. Engineered to be stronger than the attack. I defy convention by protecting more with less. Helping you breathe easier, hydrate faster, speak more clearly. I am Sisu. and I fend for you.
Welcome to Imagine You. 1,534 acres of you can achieve anything. Here, the state's most distinguished faculty does more than simply transfer knowledge. They inspire new generations of thought leaders, creative thinkers, problem solvers, and community healers. It's a place where humanity in all its diversity is celebrated, and humanities as a discipline is still championed. We are, after all, a place of higher learning. You see a collection of buildings, steel, concrete, brick, and glass, some old, some new. But inside these buildings, there are no ceilings for your ideas, no walls for your dreams. So come and let your imagination do what it was meant to do. Fly.
Tribal West is the first name in lacrosse out west. For more than 15 years, Tribal West has been gearing up beginners to ballers. Our online store is super easy, and we save you time and money. In team stores, let us do your work. Our deals for both men's and women's MCLA teams are flat out lax-tastic. We just made that up. Sublimated unis, made in the USA, and delivered on time. Tribal West, proud to be family owned and player operated. Tribal West, look good, play better.
I'm Ryan Powell.
I'm Brett Hughes.
I'm Zach Greer.
I'm Brian Silcott. We're the Stripes.
I'm Megan White.
I'm Anthony Kelly.
Griffin Halliday. Logan Halliday. And we grow the game.
And I grow the game.
I grow the game.
We grow the game. And I grow the game.
I grow the game.
And I grow the game.
And I grow the game, baby.
And I grow the game. And I grow the game.
My name is Aaron Felstead. I'm from Alpine, Utah, and I play midfield here at the University of Utah. I picked Utah because I had the opportunity to play Division I lacrosse and also to transfer with two of my best friends. So to all play together was a really cool opportunity. I love all the new buildings that they're building here and all the kind of the buzz and the hype that's going around Utah. It's a really cool place to be right now. When I'm not playing lacrosse or going to school, I'll go to a jazz game with my wife. I'm one of the few guys on the team that's married, and that's a really cool blessing in my life. And so my wife and I will go to a jazz game, we'll go to a football game, or go rock climbing, or anything that the beautiful mountains have to provide us with here. I'm really looking forward to seeing in this upcoming season the potential that this team has to offer. We came really close to making a run in the playoffs last year and didn't quite make it, but this year I'm really excited to see how far we can go and the potential being reached on this team. Being a Utah lacrosse player is a lot of fun. I think anywhere in the country you go, you work really hard, and really give it your all. But here I feel that the match between the principles of life and the principles of lacrosse and school all come to a really unique balance, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a great group of guys, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
My name is Chris Belcher. I'm from Utah, Utah County, and play LSM, and I'm 2017. I picked Utah because it was an incredible opportunity to spread the game of lacrosse in the West. My favorite part about the campus would have to be the student atmosphere that they bring to the campus. When I'm not playing lacrosse or going to school, playing lacrosse or going to school, honestly. What is it like to be a Utah lacrosse player? I would have to say that just having to be humble and trust my teammates is awesome. That's what we're really founded upon.
Tribal West is the first name in lacrosse out west. For more than 15 years, Tribal West has been gearing up beginners to ballers. Our online store is super easy, and we save you time and money. And team stores, let us do your work. Our deals for both men's and women's MCLA teams are flat out lax-tastic. We just made that up. Sublimated unis, made in the USA and delivered on time. Tribal West, proud to be family owned and player operated. Tribal West, look good, play better.
Because of the move, we didn't have the full set of
Welcome back in, fans, to the second half of the Utah versus Boise State MCLA lacrosse game, live from Salt Lake City, Judge Memorial High School. Utes lead 16-3.
So we should have water there shortly.
We're seeing Jacob Chang out there at the face-off X.
Nothing says class like a honey bucket.
Good shot of Will Manny and Marcus Holman there as we get ready to start the second half. Utes lead 16-3. Quentin Mackey leading the team in points in that first half with 1 goal and 3 assists. Several Utes getting goals. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 12 Utes getting points in this game so far. As Chang out there battling Rob Lowe. Ball still on the turf. Redmond kicks it out. And that should be Boise State ball, and it is. We'll see what happens. Boise State with a goalie change. Going with Xavier Frenner. Duke, is that a sign of throwing in the towel, getting the guy some experience, or?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Can't argue with that. As Boise State clears.
There's no point in letting your starter be out there and just keep getting shelled.
Sure.
So.
Utes still have Costa in the net. Expect that to change here, probably midway through this quarter. Shot wide by Boise State. 28, Austin Lickley. Boise State comes back with it. 33 is Devin Keefe for the Utes. Nice little play there. Talikli unable to handle it. Ball's on the turf. Nice little scoop there by Nutter, who's going to take it all the way. Finds Q with the ball. Gets over to Redmond. Gets behind to JoJo. JoJo's the shifty attackman on the team. Has really quick feet. Got a whistle.
We have a safety timeout on the part.
Second ball on the field.
Young men are safe on
Never
the
good.
field. Next ball on the field.
As the Utes retain possession. Gus Colonna over to Felsted. Looks like the Utes still have their, their main guys out there to begin the second half. I was telling Duke before the game, Utah runs a bunch of different lines on defense, offense, and attack. It's not just the same three guys out there on attack or defense. So lots of rotation from the Ute players. Stout with the ball, gets over to Lanigan. Don't forget to tweet us your questions, your comments, or where you're watching from at Utah Lacrosse. Good ball movement here by the Utes. Kind of a zone there, Duke, by Boise State.
Yep, they're in a zone. They're in like that.
Outside shot by Stout, finds the bottom left corner.
That's one way to break a zone.
And those outside shots will do it. Utah with the goal.
For those of you keeping track, that's a hat trick for the young Stout.
Kind of a hybrid 3-3 zone look there by Boise State, but if you can't get out on hands, it's pretty much a recipe for disaster.
Yep, and you leave Stout with that much time, and that's what they'll do to you. So, Utes lead here, 17-3. Jacob Chang at the face-off X for Utes. Technically from a place called Elk Grove Village in Illinois, but I put that on his bio, and he immediately texted me and said, "I'm from Chicago." So I kept it with Chicago. Chang coming up with the ground ball after it was loose on the turf, gets it over to Stout, finds JoJo. Ball's with Dean Anderson, gets over to the Jake Stout. Belcher's going to run off. Gets Liam Kavanaugh on. Like I said early in the broadcast, Utes with a couple injuries on that midfield line. Jeremy Sarton, Jonathan Rose, and Steve Ganellin are all out for this game with various ailments.
Nothing serious, correct?
No. Yeah, all should be back, in the next few weeks or so after a little bit of healing.
Shot by the Utes, slide by.
Shot high by JoJo. They're gonna give Boise State the backup on that one, which is probably fair. 11:25 remaining.
That's right, we got a new keeper
in the third quarter.
The Broncos, number 10, Xavier Brenner. They called him the X-Man.
Boise State looking to clear here. Utah does not get into the 10-man ride. Nick Farnsworth on the defense for the Utes. 24, Ryan Kears. Clears it for Boise State. Ball's on the turf. Quadruple team by the Utes. Ball is still in his stick. Comes away with it still and shoots and scores. What a hustle play by Alex Wilson. Straight play.
Goal there, yeah, scrappy goal. You gotta love that.
We got a 16-4 game. 10:45 remaining.
10:45 left
in the third quarter.
In this third quarter, score is 17-4. Just a nice shot there. That stick side, hip height. Great place to put it there. Jacob Chang out there again for Utah. Number 50, Dominic Duarte. out there for Boise State. Nice hustle play by Chang. Oh, Belcher misses the ground ball. Ball is still on the turf. We're going to have a loose ball push on Boise State after Chang gets in front of it. Stout comes away with it. It's up to JoJo. JoJo misses it, and they're going to call interference on Boise State. After that ball was down, the Boise State player kind of took a shot at JoJo. So the Utes will retain. No one steps out to cover Stout, and on the restart, just takes a step down, hits that far pipe.
Again, if you're not going to get on hands, it's going to be pretty tough to stop that.
Score is 18-4 here for the Utes. 10:24 left in the third quarter. Duke, what do you do in a game like this if you're Boise State?
You focus on winning quarters.
Okay.
So rather than, I mean, obviously there's a major deficit here.
Sure.
You try to have some, I'm not a fan of moral victories, but you say, let's try to win the third quarter, win the fourth quarter, and then come away with some good learning experiences on what you did good, what you did bad in that second half. Obviously, the first half was a little bit of a bloodbath, but if you can focus on winning the smaller battles and the smaller victories, you can get some good learning experiences from this.
Sure, you know, and if that's the case here, then they're down 2-1.
Yeah.
Utah has 2 goals in this quarter. Boise State has the 1. As Utah comes away with the face-off win there. See Luke Graney with the ball. Our score clock is wrong. It is 17-4. Nutter with the step down. Great save by Frenner. And Duke, you know, that's the kind of save those goalies need to start getting hot.
Yep, then the ball becomes a beach ball, and it becomes a lot easier.
How many of your shots in college were beach balls?
Oh, every single one. That's why I played D.
That's right. Duke played at the University of Arizona for 4 years.
Yep.
And then coached a year. Is that right?
Coached down there for a year.
Okay.
Successful clear by
the Lax Cats under, it was Mickey Mouse Felton then, wasn't it?
Was it? For 3 years, it was Mickey Mouse. My first year, it was a guy from the University of Michigan, Scott. I can't remember his last name.
Great skip pass. Sorry to interrupt you. Great skip pass by the Broncos. Had a high shot, though, and Costa gobbles that one up.
Yeah.
The Arizona team has always been interesting to me, Duke. I feel like they have all the potential in the world, but sometimes just don't quite live up to it.
It's kind of the culture down there, you know. I mean, a lot of those kids that come on campus are paid on the recruiting side, and I had to throw it in
You're talking
there.
about basketball or lacrosse?
I was talking about lacrosse.
Oh, okay.
Making a reference to the basketball team. But no, I mean, those Lax Cat teams, they always have talent. This year, actually, in that UNLV game, they lost 4 starters.
Oh, wow.
3 to really gruesome leg injuries for the year.
Wow.
And so they're kind of on a slippery slope now. But Matt Blamey's a fantastic coach, and I think he's going to right the ship down there in Tucson, I would hope at least. But he's a good guy, good recruiter. So I think they should be on the up and up here.
Utes with the ball here as they work it around. Duke, you know, a lot of talk obviously with Utah going Division I next year in the Pac-12. Do you see Arizona? Have you heard any inklings of that? Do you think that they would be a good fit? Anything like that coming out of Arizona?
Arizona would be a great fit, but they're a long ways out.
Sure.
They're a long ways out. They're actually, the athletic department's one of the more progressive athletic departments. They're the first one to get beach volleyball.
Okay.
And they're kind of on the leading edge, but I think on the lacrosse side, they're a ways out.
Great play by Utah with Q getting a good look on the goal, but a great save. Then was pushing the crease, so the Utes retain. What do you know about Arizona State? What would you say about their chances of going D1?
I'd say they're a lot closer. It's a really well-funded program, a ton of school support. And so I'd say they're fairly close. I don't know what fairly is a pretty ambiguous term, but
sure.
They're a lot closer than some other Pac-12 teams for sure.
Yeah, not afraid of lacrosse either. Not afraid of because they have a women's team.
Yep.
And then obviously they added men's hockey a few years ago.
Yeah.
So not afraid to add a new sport. Got a timeout on the field though. We're going to take a quick break. Enjoy this this player video that we produced.
In the third quarter.
Hey everybody, my name is Daniel Costa. I'm from Huntington, New York, and I am a goalie. Why did I pick Utah? I picked Utah because of the combination of, first off, I really want to play for these coaches. Academically, it's a good fit, and then I love the school. In regards to maybe like academically, I think my professors have been phenomenal. They've just really been helpful. I changed my major from finance to economics, so it's been a completely different ball game, and they've really gone their way to make sure that I'm understanding the material. Well, my favorite part of the campus would probably be that bridge right there. You know, we got the sun setting behind us. When I'm walking back from meeting, it's great. And in the morning, when we're playing on the field, being surrounded by the mountains, it's just unreal. When I'm not playing lacrosse or I'm not doing school, I love playing racquetball. That's been a lot of fun. And then I'm just hitting the books, loving to read. Being a Utah lacrosse player is it's an unbelievable experience. I know I've only been here for a couple months, but I love everything about it. All the guys are bringing a lot of energy and passion, and everybody's just, working as hard as they can. So that's what a Utah lacrosse player is.
Welcome back, fans, to the Utah Lacrosse broadcast of the Utah Utes versus Boise State Broncos MCLA game. 6:54 left in the third quarter. Utes are up big, 17-4. Duke, we got our first question via Twitter. You ready for it?
Yep.
Okay. This comes from Steve Heyman, Heymondo, at Heymondo. Love it. He asks, which conference do you think is the best fit for Utah to join? And do you think the Utes will be able to compete right away, or will it take a few years to adjust to the new level of competition? So two-headed question there. As we see the Utes try to clear. Quick note before we get to the question. Zach John's in goal for the Utes now, out of Henderson, Nevada. Played at Coronado down there. So actually a great little player. Has been really good for us lately. So Duke, what do you think about the conference question?
I think they want to join the ACC, but in terms of a fit, I think that they could fit in really anywhere. I think whatever the best travel schedule is what I think their likely landing spot will be. And I don't know. What are your thoughts on the conference?
Yeah, so you're right. I mean, the ACC would obviously be the best fit, and we tried that route, and it's not going to happen. The next, in my opinion, would be the Big Ten, just because it's other similar big P5 schools, state schools like Michigan, Maryland, Ohio State, and so to answer the question, next year we will be in an independent unless something happens, but. The Big East would certainly be a good fit just with the Denver connection. The SoCon for the Air Force travel kind of partner for the conference games. But the first couple years, the second part of that question is, do you think the Utes will be able to compete right away? I personally do. Could be biased in that sense, but there's a couple reasons why. One is, in theory, that first D1 year will be the coaching staff's third year. Mm-hmm. And so they've worked together as a staff, obviously, for 2 years leading into that first D1 year. So I think that helps. And in that same vein, they've been recruiting for this first class since then. Mm-hmm. And so they've got the advantage there. I think we have 38 guys coming out to try out for the team next season. So potentially lots of talent as Josh Stout gets a shot off there. Coach Holman feels that maybe only a portion of this team will make next year's team, and so things will just continue to grow. And if you know anything about the coaching staff, they're fierce competitors, and so they'll do whatever it takes to compete at the next level. And I think we will be able to compete. You know, a lot of people have compared us to Michigan just with the MCLA to D1 and D1 transition, but I think we're going to be more like a Marquette, where we'll see success pretty early on. You know, but getting in a conference is a key part of that, in my opinion, and so we're just going to have to be patient on that. And you know, Coach Holman says, if you win all your games, it doesn't matter what conference you're in. So that's kind of his attitude. And, for those who have met him, that's probably a fair assessment. So we'll see. Good question, though. Again, if you have other questions, send them in at Utah Lacrosse. We'll try to answer them the best we can on air in our limited knowledge as the Utes work the ball around here. 3:55 left in the third quarter, 17-4 lead for the Utes over the Boise State Broncos. I will say one thing, though. It's an exciting time to be a Utah Lacrosse fan. Coach Holman has, I think, 6 or 7 home games lined up already for next year. I don't want to say who they are because I forgot half of them, but don't want to spoil it, though, either. But you know, if you're a lacrosse fan, you'll definitely recognize the names. And then a couple great away games are already lined up for next season. So definitely an opportunity to prove ourselves early on. You know, I was just talking to a couple parents before the game, and it's just going to take patience. You know, we're not going to make the playoffs in the first year. You know, our chances are low. But, you know, 5, 6, 7 years down the road, I think that a lot of people nationwide will be talking about the Utes. So great play there by Jake Stout, getting the ball to Luke Graney. It's going to be the 18th goal of the game here. 3:06 left. So Graney gets on the score sheet in the goal column.
Yeah, and just to kind of follow up with what you said in terms of the competition, I think it speaks volumes to just the excitement of lacrosse in the community that you have people asking you when they're going to make the Memorial Day trip out to see the Utes, and you know, we would be blind if we said that Utah's going to go out there and compete with the Syracuses and the Virginias and the Marylands and the Hopkins, but it's going to, just like you said, it's going to take some time, but I mean, there's probably not a better staff out there in terms of recruiting, getting the right people on campus, and they have an advantage on the West Coast right now to get top-tier talent. I mean, to stay closer to home, and I think they're going to surprise some teams next year, and it's only going to be growing from that base that they have. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we've already seen part of that. Number 12, Ben Adams out there was a Penn commit, you know, but then opted to stay home. And so I think, you know, I think we'll continue to see that. I think your point about getting kids out of California, or I mean, really, in my opinion, you know, and I'm not as experienced as the coaches, obviously, but we should be on everyone's list in the West.
100%.
Just on our list, you know, whether they come here or not, obviously there's a lot that goes into that, but I think that the University of Utah as a whole has a lot to offer for kids. You know, the city of Salt Lake is obviously, in my opinion, one of the best in the country, and so you know, mounds of opportunity for kids to do stuff outside of school. You know, the coaches will have snowboarding days where the team goes and snowboards. I don't know if that'll continue in D1, but it happened this year, so we'll see what happens there. But you know, exciting times, great place. You know, the community is obviously buying into it, hook, line, and sinker, and so it's just a good time to be a lacrosse fan in Utah, like you said. And then building on that, you know, the high school teams will be sanctioned next year, and so I think that'll create some buzz as well. That'll only help what's going on here. So.
Yep.
Watson passes up the shot to Graney, who then passes up the shot and goes to Kavanaugh, who gets his first goal of the day.
Watson thought he had an assist there.
Yes, he did. Lots of generous passing there by the Utes.
19. 4 for the Broncos.
Good play by Graney. Graney, one of the seasoned vets on the team. I think this is his 10th year on the team. Just his 6th. Had a couple injuries, and so he's been on the squad forever. Just a great kid, though. One of those kids that gets out there and just works his tail off no matter what. you know, he's another kid who had a lot of time last year, but hasn't seen a whole bunch of the field this year. But doesn't matter to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's just that kind of kid.
He's a great kid.
Yeah, so exciting to see him out there. As we got Cole Watson, Luke Graney, and Grayson Goodyear out there on the attack line for the Utes. Your defense is going to be goalie Zach Johns, Steele Heaton, Aiden Christian, and Ben Adams. It's Ryan Kears. He's been all over the field today for the Broncos.
Again, just a great ride.
Failure to advance on the Broncos. Redmond with the ball, gets it up to Goodyear, goes to Graney. And I think Watson was surprised to find that, to be honest with you. Graney maybe should have stuck that one in the back of the net. Watson falls in the goal, and we're going to get the ball back to Boise State. 45 seconds left in this third quarter. Utes lead 19-4. Boise State with one of their few possessions here in the third quarter. And if you're still with us out there, we invite you to tweet at us at Utah Lacrosse if any questions or comments. Also, I haven't seen any other scores. You can tweet us other scores. If you're watching the Notre Dame Michigan game, Notre Dame Denver game, I'd love to know that score. 3 seconds left in this third quarter.
Got to get it out in hands.
Kicks it off the field. It comes right back. I think that action kind of sums up Boise State's day today, as that's going to be the end of the third quarter. Utah leads 19-4. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back for the fourth quarter.
19 goals.
My name is Dean Anderson. I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah, and I play midfield. I picked Utah because it's just a great location, close to the mountains. It has a great business school, and that's what I'm majoring in. My favorite part of the school has to be our parking garage field where we practice for lacrosse. It's just a nice turf field and just a great view of the mountains and of all of Salt Lake City. When I'm not playing lacrosse or going to school, I like to do outdoor activities like go hiking or go fishing. I'm looking forward most for the upcoming season, just getting out and to compete for a national championship and just put all our hard work from the fall into the spring. It's a dream come true. It's been so great to be part of such a great coaching staff and such a great lacrosse environment, and just being part of the Utah team.
We are back, fans, for the fourth quarter. 19-4 lead for your number one Utes over the Boise State Broncos. Jacob Chang getting the ball, winning that face-off. As the Utes look to get into their offensive possession, Bo Powell with the ball, finds Belcher, who gets a goal. And just like that, Utes able to get the ball in the back of the net. I am running out of room in my notebook for goals. Duke, what did we see there?
Really, goalie extended out, Belcher State on offense. Good transition there and pretty standard.
Against number 24.
Got a couple
extends out here, and then it's just one more, buries it.
That's Belcher's third goal of the season, second of the game. So a great game out there for Belcher, who's always all over the field. Great defender, obviously a great, can shoot the ball as well. Boise State comes away with the face-off, but gets triple teamed. Nate Berger's going to come away with it.
Number 22, Nate Berger, old man win, gets the ball.
Berger looks up, finds Watson. Nice handle by Watson, and he's going to get the goal, and Berger the assist.
Cole Watson, don't mess with Texas.
So the Utes, second, third string guys performing out there today, which you like to see. We got a couple tweets coming in, Duke. Nathan Maxey, a Texas Aggie fan, tunes in. How does this year count for the players' clocks for next year in terms of eligibility?
Number 50, Double D is going to face
Do you know?
again.
No.
I don't know either, to be honest with you. I think that it does count towards their eligibility. I know when Michigan left, there were a couple guys that got a fifth year, but I'm pretty sure it does count.
Trevor Yealy was the one I'm remembering that had one additional year. But I think it does. I'm pretty sure it does.
I think you're right. Paul Hutton tweets in, what's the recruiting landscape in the state of Utah for the University of Utah?
It's a great question. There is some really good talent that is staying in state, and there's some really good talent that is leaving the state on the Division I level. I mean, you have a guy, defenders from Juan Diego, Bo Caldwell, Hunter Easterly, that are staying in state, and then you got guys like Bo Pedersen that are leaving the state. My guess is, as this team progresses on the D1 level, the really good top caliber talent like the Bo Pedersens will stay in state moving forward.
I agree, and I think I think if Utah does lose out on a Utah kid, it's going to be a school to like tradition, like they want to go play for Duke or Virginia or Maryland or whoever it may be, but or an Ivy League school or a school that we just can't compete with in terms of extracurricular stuff. So I think good question there by Paul. A couple of scores coming in. Thanks to Craig and Bill Manny for tweeting the Notre Dame score. Notre Dame up 11-9 with 2:30 left in the fourth over Denver. There should have been to those two guys watching, there should have been a feature on Lacrosse in the West, and you might have seen some Utah lacrosse imagery in that. I got an email from ESPN this week, and that's the game they said they were going to broadcast it on. Good shot there by Boise State. A couple more tweets coming in. Number 8, Gus's mom, always a big fan of the Twitter and the social media. She says we have one at the game, one in South Carolina, and one in Massachusetts watching the game. So thanks to the Kelowna family for always the support as always. We are early here in this fourth quarter. I got a text from someone watching the stream who said that the eligibility, it counts as one of their 5 years. So it's kind of like a redshirt year.
Got it.
So that's good to know as Dean Anderson looks to push the ball. Product out of East High School. East is literally across the street from where we're at. So it's good to see a hometown kid get some time out there and get some runs as Kelowna ends up with the ball.
East is another program that's on the rise here locally.
Definitely, they've and it's been one of those patience scenarios where they've had a lot of good parent support, and kind of started when these guys were in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and have just risen up the ranks, and it's good to see them perform. As DZ finds Watson, who buries it.
Great finish. Watson's a great finisher. Takes that crease slide, absorbs it, dips, ducks, and finishes.
Easy, we've got a 22-4 game, 11:47 remaining.
Yeah, Watson doesn't miss much when he gets an opportunity. 44 in. Michael Dowd. Looks like he has a brother on the team, Will Dowd, number 45. Always fun to see brothers on the team, huh?
It is.
Shot by number 19, Alex Wilson.
Boise State with the ball. Looking to get in some sort of rhythm, maybe get a good shot here. A nice offensive position. It's a good slide there by Nick Farnsworth. Shot, and Zach Johns is going to get those all day. 22 for the Broncos. Jake Braden. Good defense by Keefe. Sees a shot by Chun go wide.
He's just a little bit faster than Internet Explorer.
Good defense there by Lemons. Gets the ball on the turf. Boise State's going to come up with it, though. And number 7, Marcus Henke, just tosses it a little bit over, a little bit too high.
10-17 remaining, 22-4.
Jake Nutter's going to start with it. Oh, good feed to Goodyear, who just dinks it off the goalie's chest. He would have liked that one back. Fights though and gets the ground ball. Gets it up to Watson. Who gets it over to Nutter. Farnsworth's going to clear so Jake Stout can come on. Utes up 22-4, 9:44 left in this ball game. Duke looking a little bit ahead to next week. The Utes play Oregon next Thursday. That game will be at Ute Soccer Field. And then on Saturday, the Utes will take on Washington at 2 p.m., also at Ute Soccer Field. Two Pac-12 opponents making the trip down. They're going to flop with BYU, so BYU will play the Washington Thursday and Oregon Saturday. So, more opportunities to see the Utes in action as Jake Stout drives into a triple team. And the ball's on the floor, and we're going to get a push. But they're going to keep it with Boise State.
9 minutes remaining in the game, folks.
Hey, you got to love these Pac-12 teams starting to make visits to each other's home fields in preparation for what's to come. So it's always good to see Pac-12 schools facing off against each other. And
yeah, a little foreshadowing.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Oregon playing well this year. Washington's always a good opponent. I will say those two teams typically have two of the better helmets.
Yeah.
In the MCLA.
Yeah.
I like what Oregon's done with their whites. They got kind of like a white-out helmet, and then their black's kind of a blackout helmet. So
Oregon has that chrome green face mask too on that white helmet.
Yep. So it'll be fun to see. That's next Thursday, 7 p.m. Ute Soccer Field. For those out of state, you can view us online. That will be streamed again on our game day page as we see a flag down, then a goal. Refs are conferring. Ref on the left is Cole Sloan, number 67 there.
An alumnus of Judge Memorial.
A Judge alumni. Yep, spent some time in Arizona as well, didn't he?
He
did. He go to pharmacy school down
He went
there?
to pharmacy school at the University of Arizona.
Okay, just following in your footsteps, dude.
Yep.
Coming back. His brother played for the Utes a couple years ago. And the other ref there was John Siegmiller. No, is it Siegmiller? Can't remember his last name. I know his first name's John. 8:13 left in this game. Utes lead. Utes take a 22-4 lead as we get number 27 for the Utes. I believe that's going to be Tommy O'Day in the penalty box. They're going to lock him in. Coach Holman not happy about it. I think that's really been the only thing he's had to complain about today, though. So I think we're okay.
22-5.
They called an illegal body check or what?
I think they did. Was the goal good then?
Yeah.
Okay. 22-5 then is the score here. Utes will have a man-down face-off. They get Abazid out there again, though. And Belcher on the far wing. I like their chances here, 2 versus 3.
Yeah.
Those would be the 2 that I would stick out there. Abazid wins the clamp. A little scuffle at the midfield. We're going to get a hold on Boise State. Utah's going to come away with it. Belcher with the ball. Gets it up to Felstead. Who gets it behind to Bopal. Who gets it up to Felstead. Utes are man down. Ball's with Elson. Over to Felstead. He's content to just hold it here. Nice handle there by Kavanaugh. And finally, here comes the double team.
Spun right out of it. Boise's just exhausted.
Yeah, I'm not sure when they came in. My hunch is they took a bus in this morning. And, you know, it's a 5-hour trip. And we're going to take Utah with a timeout. And we're going to take a quick commercial with them.
My name is Dean Anderson. I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah, and I play midfield. I picked Utah because it's just a great location, close to the mountains. It has a great business school, and that's what I'm majoring in. My favorite part of the school has to be our parking garage field where we practice for lacrosse. It's just a nice turf field and just a great view of the mountains and of all of Salt Lake City. When I'm not playing lacrosse or going to school, I like to do outdoor activities like go hiking or go fishing. I'm looking forward most for the upcoming season, just getting out and to compete for a national championship and just put all our hard work from the fall into the spring. It's a dream come true. It's been so great to be part of such a great coaching staff and such a great lacrosse environment and just being part of the Utah team.
And we're back, Ute fans, after the Utah timeout. They successfully killed the penalty after winning the man-down face-off and running around the outside. Score is 22-5 with 7:17 left. Duke, couple points you wanted to make about Washington.
Yeah, I mean, that's a school that I could see making the jump to go in Division I. They've got a really well-funded school up there, obviously, and a ton of talent in the Seattle area, and a lot of big donors that could potentially fund it. So that's another program to keep an eye on. That could be one that sneaks up and makes the jump.
Utes still man down. My apologies. I thought they had cleared it. Felstead gets around, gets the shot off. No backup, though. And Boise State will get it. A couple tweets coming in. We appreciate the tweets coming in. Notre Dame over Denver, 11-9. BYU 13-10 over Florida State. And then Georgia beats Colorado State 10-8. So a couple MCLA scores for you. Jennifer Guckert, relative of our fourth-string goalie Jeff Guckert, tweeting in. Hoping to see the Utes back east next year. Jennifer, there'll be plenty of opportunity to see the Utes back east next year. I can almost guarantee you that. So I think we have 4 road trips planned for next year. So quite a few opportunities. I know one of those will be in North Carolina. I've heard rumors of going to Hofstra. So we'll see what the official schedule pans out as, but for right now, we've got Boise State in front of us and Oregon next Thursday, Washington next Saturday. Utes lead here 22-5, 6:23 left. Utes will be content to just kind of spin the ball, I think, at this point. as they are still man down. That's Felstead with the ball.
Sides are all even once again.
And that's the end of the penalty. Utes with the successful penalty kill there. It's Matt Finelli with the ball. Gets literally run over. Ball still on the turf. Gonna have a hold on Boise State.
Loose ball push.
And Utah ball. 5:52 left. We have a tweet from Salt Lake City, which is one of our better followers. So go give them a follow as Dalton Ziegler gets his first goal of the season. Means he'll get a peppermint patty after the game. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Makes the score 23-5 for the Utes. Salt Lake City tweets in, Duke, does Chris Hill expect this sport to become a revenue-producing sport?
My guess would be no.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that as well. I can speak that I think that it could be. The fans out here today probably 70% full maybe here at Judge Memorial High School. A couple filing out early, but that's okay. We'll see them next Thursday. That's all right.
Yeah, the issue with the revenue sports is that there's just not a lot of them out there. I mean, it's obviously all the football and basketball, men's basketball, and then I think there's only a few other programs in the NCAA that are making revenue, and I think it's like Pepperdine women's volleyball and UConn women's basketball are the two that stick out. So it'll take a while to get there. Maybe eventually as the community gets behind it and they start selling more season tickets and have teams coming in and get into a conference potentially, you could get some good opportunities to get some revenue. But I think for the first little bit, it's going to be a revenue loss, which is fine. I mean, that's
yeah.
They knew that going in. It's not. It doesn't put them in jeopardy or anything like that. It's very normal.
A little bit of loose play here between the two teams late in this game. 5 minutes left. Seth Neeleman with gives up the ball on the other end, but then chases him down and gets it back for the Utes. A great play there. Watson with the shot on his signature cut inside.
Watson tries to throw the change up in on the keeper.
Boise State clears up to number 29. It's John Carlson for the Broncos. Good defense, though, by Liam Kavanaugh.
That's by Liam Kavanaugh.
Duke, I said I'd talk about peppermint patties. That's Coach Holman's favorite treat or candy. And so he always has a few after the game that he gives to sort of like the game ball, but they're peppermint patties. So gives a peppermint patty to anyone who scores their first goal.
Oh.
So we'll see Dalton get his today.
That's
I think
awesome.
That might be the only one. I think that's right.
Shot by number 1, K-Shao. Reaches back and rips it. Slides by the net just a bit outside. Backed up by the Broncos.
Boise State will host, let's see, they'll go to Nevada, Northern Nevada next week. And they'll play Dominican in a neutral site game on the 17th, and then they'll play Nevada Reno on the 18th, followed by hosting BYU on the 23rd. So a couple good games there for the Broncos coming up. Like I said, Utah plays Oregon next Thursday, Washington on Saturday. So plenty of opportunity for the fans out there to see the Utes in action. The following week after that is spring break, no games, and then the Utes will host Division II Westminster in a scrimmage on Friday, March 30th at Ute Soccer Field. So good opportunity for the Utes to come back from spring break and play a good Westminster team in a scrimmage, and then it's into RMLC play for the Utes at that point. So that's going to look like Utah State, UVU, a road trip to play Colorado State, Colorado, and then at home against BYU in the season finale. RMLC tournament this year, should the Utes make it, will be in Orem, hosted by UVU.
Wow.
And so, awesome. And then obviously the MCLA National Championship, assuming the Utes make it, will be in just down the street. You could, if we had a 200-foot pole out there, you could see it from here. But great goal by Watson, signature dodge inside move, and a great goal, getting his third of the game. 2:43 left.
We got a 24-5.
You look at the coaches on the sideline still expecting the same level of competition as they were in the first quarter. You got to love seeing that. They expect nothing less than the best from every single player, and it's awesome to see.
Absolutely. The coaching staff preaches every member of the team is as important as the next, and so they're not going to slouch off on coaching just because different players are in, maybe not the starters, but definitely good to see some of these guys performing at a high level. Speaking of which, Max Holmes in goal for the Utes, number 11. Max was on the team last year, had a thumb injury just before the very first road trip, and only featured in one game last year, so good to see him. I think this is his third or fourth game for the Utes. A great goalie out of Northern California, and just a great kid as well, so definitely good to have him on the team. Ian Elson finding Grayson Goodyear for the goal.
That's a 14th different goal scorer by the Utes tonight.
Just heard the PA announcer say that's the 14th different goal scorer for the Utes.
That's what you call a balanced attack.
Yeah, balanced attack there for the Utes. Again, you see Elson here looking up, catching the Boise State defense looking a little bit. And Goodyear with the goal. Goodyear out of Colorado. He went to Valor Christian, if I remember right.
Virginia University back in Memphis, Tennessee today.
Colin Lee out there at the faceoff X. Near side is Nate Berger for the Utes. Far side is Austin Porter, number 10. So the Utes take a 25-5 lead here late in this game. Colin Lee's going to outlet back to Max Holmes. Holmes goes up to Porter. Porter out of Jordan High School in Sandy, Utah.
2 minutes, 1:55 remaining in the.
He's going to get it up to Watson. He's going to go behind to Powell. Gets it over to Goodyear. Gets it up to DZ as Nate Berger runs to the midfield line so that Elson can come on. Berger's shift is done as he gets Kranz back on. Duke, if I'm counting right, I think everyone has played at this point for the Utes. DZ with the ankle-breaking move. It's up to Watson. Finds Porter. Porter off the pipe. Utes with the backup. What a play.
Utes back that shot up and move on with 1:09 left.
Probably would have been a peppermint patty for Porter, is my guess.
I think you're right. I think that would have been his first goal. Just under a minute left here in this one. Fans, we want to thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you're either tuning in on YouTube at uteslacrosse.com/gameday or on our distribution partner, Lax All-Stars, who are headquartered in Boise. So kind of a little trivia for you there. Their owners did not go to Boise, though. I believe Jeff went to Oregon. So he looked at coming to Utah, though, he told me once. So great partner, though, for us. We appreciate having them on board. 20 seconds left here. We invite you to keep up with the team on social media. Twitter is at Utah Lacrosse. Instagram is at Utah Lacrosse. Facebook, it's facebook.com/Utah Lacrosse. Our website is obviously uteslacrosse.com. We'll have photos from this game, a recap, and hopefully a video highlight reel following this one. And that's going to do it, folks. Number 1, Utah taking down Boise State 25-5. Duke, final thoughts on the game?
The Utes came out and took care of business. Like I said, it was kind of a little bit of a revenge game for last season, and being ranked number 1, the Utes did exactly what they should have done to this Boise State team. So we're on to the next one.
Everyone played today, which is always a good sign. We'll thank you again for tuning in. Next Thursday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time versus Oregon. And then next Saturday, 2 p.m. Mountain Time versus Washington. Thanks for tuning in, folks.
My name is Grayson Goodyear. I'm from Morrison, Colorado, and I play attack. I picked Utah because it was very close to my home. The scenery is just beautiful. It's an amazing school. The academics are great. The athletics are great, and just an amazing opportunity to play.